my YouTube family, guys and girls. So maybe you can tell, but my bike has an exhaust. I put an exhaust on it. Finally, I got a slip-on. Reason I got a slip-on, did not want to spend the money for a full system because A, this thing's fast enough, and B, I just really cared about getting a little bit of sound because, like point A, this thing is fast enough. I don't know if you can see it, but God, this. Let me tell you, the 778cc motor, this thing sounds so good because I feel like you've got the whole range of sound. You've got the 600 kind of wail going on in the higher RPMs. You've got that kind of grunty lower sound too. It's just, I love it. Quick life update. I'm gonna keep it short. Been busy as shit. Running a YouTube channel and having a full-time career that you're passionate about is fairly difficult, I'm now finding out. But anyways, enough of that bullshit. What I wanted to excuse me. What I wanted to introduce to you today is something I've been wanting to do for a while, and it's going to be called Dad Stories. And the reason I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I'm sure everybody's dad has some crazy stories, but my dad has the most ridiculous just shit that has happened to him over the years. And like I told you guys about the food blog thing, or the food fast food review thing that we were doing, I really always wanted to figure out a way to tell these stories that my dad has, and I want somebody to hear them. I mean, they're funny, and it's I'm gonna warn you, a lot of it involves doo-doo and shit like that, and pants shitting and fishing, because my dad's a big fisherman. But he's oh God, he ain't right. So along with the update, I want to do a review on my new helmet. Or not a review, I want to do like an intro whenever I get time. And I also want to do a little intro of this exhaust, just because I've got that Sony a6000 with a nice 35 millimeter lens, 35 millimeter f1.8. I want to just use it and fuck around with it. Anyways, guys, what I give you is Dad Stories, episode 1. This is gonna be in the little playlist in the bottom of my channel. And I'm going to be getting this info from my dad, because when I was a kid, I always loved hearing him tell these stories. My dad's such a storyteller, and I'm going to try to do him justice. Because what do you want to hear when you're on you're already watching a vlog. You're really just watching me ride around on my motorcycle when you're probably not riding around on a motorcycle, I hope. So, the first story I have for you guys is a fishing story. So, to preface this story, I want to talk about my crazy uncle. I'm going to leave him unnamed for obvious reasons. This is uncle by marriage too, like I'm not related to him. So he lives in Coleman. So if you know anything about Alabama, Coleman is like not to offend anybody from Coleman, but Coleman is kind of a rough country, like there's nothing for miles kind of place. They might have a Walmart finally, but there's just not much to it. So he's a crazy guy. He's one of these dudes that like sleeps with a gun under their pillow. We used to always have fun going to visit my cousins up there, and like the dude just had guns for fucking days. So like I said, my dad's a big fisherman, and he loves to take people fishing. And so my uncle, they used to fish a lot together. So they went fishing down at Lay Lake, which is in South Alabama. Of course, what part of Alabama is in the South? But so you got to know about my uncle. Back in the day, he's a huge drinker, and he used to be into some funky drugs. And if you knew my dad, like, it's weird to me that they would even hang out, because my dad is so straight-laced. Like, he's funny. I mean, he curses and shit, and he doesn't curse a lot. He's a good Christian man, etc. But he's not, he's one of these people that never did drugs when they were in school, etc. Even though he grew up in the 60s. My dad's 65. So, oh God, I was trying to figure out how to do this justice. So they go fishing, and my parents have a little, they've always had a little lake place down there. Not a house, but like a travel trailer type thing to stay in. They're down there staying in the travel trailer, and my dad, they get up to go fishing the next day, and they're out fishing, and my dad did not know, but my uncle was I should say an opium connoisseur. Either that or it was crack. I can't remember. Seeing as how my dad's not too big into drugs, I don't think that he probably doesn't know what kind he was on. I'm willing to bet crack since he was up in Coleman. So they're fishing, and he keeps hearing like these weird mumbles back there, and he doesn't know that my uncle is fucked up out of his mind on crack. And so he's having to deal with his crazy banter and all this craziness back there, listening to him, you know, talk nonsense or whatever. So, and I'm gonna go ahead and warn you guys, these stories always usually end with turds. So, one thing that ends up happening is some kind of fisherman's law that you are always gonna have to take a shit when you're out in a boat fishing. So, they are out there fishing. My dad needs to take a dump. So, they're going to the bank. My dad gets up, and you gotta understand about a lake bank. It's like this. So my dad's up there fucking holding on to a tree, you know, fucking gripping onto that shit, and taking a dump, and these freaking turds are rolling down the hill and splashing into the water beside my uncle. And bear in mind, he's fucked up beyond belief. So he's back there just, oh my God, they're bombing us. They're all bombing us. And my dad's like, what are you talking about? And he's thinking these turds coming down are like, I don't even know. He's thinking people are like dropping bombs on us. They're splashing next to him. I mean, the poor man's having turds bombed on him like an airplane. So after that, you know, they get in the car, and my dad's basically having to babysit my uncle. So he goes back, and he's sitting in the boat. And my uncle, he's just like wondering why, you know, my uncle's back there just practically falling in the water. He can't even he just can't, I mean, he's wobbling all over. He's almost fallen in the water a couple times. And so my dad goes back there, and he's just like, you're gonna have to freaking calm the fuck down. We're going back. We're gonna go back to the bank. I can't fish with you like this. And he's worried that he's gonna fall in the water and freaking drown because he's completely fucked up. So he goes back there, and you know how a boat seat, when you're sitting on them back there, the swivel seats have those poles that hold the thing off the ground, where my dad takes the pole from him so he can sit flat on the ground because he's afraid he's going to flop over and fall in the water. And my uncle's so fucked up, he's sitting back there, and my dad fishes for a little bit longer because he's not going to have this ruin his fishing trip, having somebody screwed up in the back of the boat. He's hoping he's just going to sit there and fall asleep. And next thing he knows, he hears, my legs are gone. And my dad turns around, and my dad turns around and sees my uncle sitting back there with his legs folded up, sitting in the seat, staring at his legs like he can't see him, and he thinks his legs have been cut off. So by this time, my dad's had a fucking enough, and he canceled his little trip with this shit, went back to the bank. I swear to you, the man has never fished with my uncle again. It doesn't help that he ended up divorcing my mom's sister, so that we really don't have much to do with him anyways. That is the first installment of Dad Stories. If you want to hear more Dad Stories, because believe me, they're coming, or you just want to watch me ride around on my motorcycle, not really knowing what the hell I'm doing, go ahead and click that subscribe button right there. I would appreciate it. Also comment, like, subscribe, man. I like to see you guys' comments down there. I like to talk to y'all. I'd like to ride with any of y'all. Yeah, man, I'll see you guys later.